प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दुग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरम् हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम्। लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरः एपीयमानम् मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजम् कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे। मूकम् करोति वाचालम् पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिम् यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः शृण्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः, देवाय तस्मै नमः। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। We will chant shloka number 20, 21, 22 and 23. परस्तस्मात्तु भावोऽन्यः अव्यक्तो व्यक्तात् सनातनः यस्य सर्वेषु भूतेषु नश्यत्सु न विनश्यति अव्यक्तोऽक्षर इत्युक्तः तमाहुः परमां गतिम् यं प्राप्य न निवर्तन्ते तद्धाम परमं मम पुरुषः स परः पार्थ भक्त्या लभ्यस्त्वनन्यया यस्यान्तस्थानि भूतानि येन सर्वमिदं ततम् यत्र काले त्वनावृत्तिम् आवृत्तिं चैव योगिनः प्रयाता यान्ति तं कालम् वक्ष्यामि भरतर्षभ। This chapter started with the 7 questions of Arjuna. What is that Brahma? What is Adhyatma? What is Karma? What is Adhibhuta, Adhidaiva, Adhiyajna? And at the time of death, at the time of departure, how can people know you? And in shloka number 3 and 4, Bhagavan gave answers to first 6 questions. And from 5th shloka onwards, the elaboration is on how an individual can know God at the time of departure. What should he do? As I had mentioned earlier, this chapter focuses on 2 types of sadhakas. One sadhaka is Karmi sadhaka, the one who is a ritualist, is performing various actions and living a noble life. What is his destination? And the other is the one who is performing Saguna Upasana, Saguna Brahma Upasana, so he is a Upasaka. So there is a Karmi and there is an Upasaka. And for them, there is this question of departure, going and then reaching some destination. There is no discussion of jnani in this chapter. Both are sadhakas who did not have nirguna brahma jnana. The jnani is hero of chapter 9. We will see him there. So here Bhagavan in brief said, if there is an individual who continues to remember me in all his activities with Ananya Bhakti, that seeking me for my sake, not for some other gain, other title, position, power, name, fame, anything. then that individual shall attain me. No doubt about that. In due course of time, that we have to add. And the due course of time is whatever world is gained by him, Brahmaloka, from there he is going to move further and eventually attain Paramatma. So, what is the nature of that Brahmaloka? How long is the day there? How long is the night there? All that we have seen. Very long time. But beyond this Avyakta, there is another Avyakta. So Brahmaloka and Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha, otherwise known as, is also Avyakta. Beyond him is also another Avyakta. Paras tasmat tu bhavo anyaha avyaktaha avyaktat sanatana. That Avyakta is eternal and it is absolute eternal, whereas this Hiranyagarbha or Brahmaji's destination, position is relatively longer, not eternal. This chapter has a lot of technical terms, It has more connections with all the Vedic connotations. So sometimes we feel this chapter is like completely oddball between 7 and 9. Because that 7th chapter theme is going to continue in 9th chapter. And Bhagavan says, when an individual attains that Avyakta, the absolute Avyakta, which is me, Mama Paramam Dhama, then he doesn't come back. Yam prapya na nivartante. And how I am gained? By this unflinching, dedicated, single-pointed devotion. From shloka number 23 now, Bhagavan is talking about the two paths. Yatra kale tu anavrittim avrittim cha eva yoginaha. Yoginaha means karminaha, for karmin, and also for those who are doing upasana, upasakas. For them. So yogi word has to be understood in different contexts, in different chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And kale means, literally it will mean time. But here kala, as I had mentioned, under different circumstances leading to different goals, different paths, if you want to call. So, two types of sadhakas are there. One is only performing rituals, karmas. Another is doing Saguna Brahma Dhyanam. He is an upasaka. So for them, two paths are there. One is path of return, avritti. Another has anavritti, no return. So no return ticket, one-way journey for that person. Bhagavan says, those two paths I am going to talk about. Tam kalam vakshyami. Kalam means margam, if you want to just make it easy. That I will tell you. So what path he has taken. Okay. What are they now? What are the two paths? So Bhagavan is describing the first one. This is called Shukla path, bright path. These are given in Vedas or Upanishads as the bright path, solar path, northern path, path leading to Brahmaloka. All these different words are used for the same thing. Shloka number 24. Agnirjyotirah shuklah Shanmasa uttarayanam Tatra प्रयाता गच्छन्ति ब्रह्म ब्रह्मविदो जनाः अग्निर्ज्योतिरः शुक्लः षण्मासा उत्तरायणम् तत्र प्रयाता गच्छन्ति ब्रह्म ब्रह्मविदो जनाः. So, janaha, the people, who are they? Brahmavidaha. So here Brahmavida means Saguna Brahma Upasaka. This is not the knower of Brahman here. So Brahmavidaha here means the Saguna Brahma Upasakas, those who are doing Upasana, Dhyanam of that Saguna Brahma. They reach there. Prayata Gachanti means after death they go there. Tatra Gachanti. They reach that destination. What is that? So their path is given with different deities who are going to channelize this jiva. Now, this is a very important thing, pay attention. When we say when an individual dies, and generally we are very interested in what happens after death, because we didn't do anything while we were alive. So now we want to have some good news when we depart. After death, what will happen? So what will happen to whom? As far as physical body is concerned, what will happen to physical body after death? It will rot here. You can give very good names. Cremated, buried, whatever. So we know what happens after death to physical body, and we don't have to know that. It will go back to 5 elements. It will become soil, mulch, everything for other vegetables, fruits, etc., which we will eat. This is what happens to physical body. What happens to Atma after death? Nothing happens to Atma. Because Atma is na jayate mriyate. There is no birth for Atma, there is no death for Atma. Where will that Atma go? Nowhere. It cannot go anywhere. Nitya sarvagata sthanu. Sarvagata. It is everywhere. So Atma doesn't go anywhere. Body cannot go anywhere. Then who goes where? So this is the in-between guy. Deho na janati sato na janma deham pramanonya udeti madhye. In Satdarshanam, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, body has no knowledge of anything. Satvastu has no birth. In between there is another agent. It has a namavali. Ahankriti, Granthi, Vibandha, Sukshma Sharira, Cheto, Bhava, Jiva, these are all its names. This Jiva, this subtle body, otherwise known as Ahankara or mind, where the reflection of consciousness is available, that Chidabhasa Sahita Jiva is the traveler. These things we will not find anywhere. This knowledge only Vedas will talk about. You go to Google website or look at any library books, otherwise these things will not be discussed. Chandogya, Brahadaranyaka, Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, only they will talk about these things. Not that I have studied. So, this Jiva is traveling and Bhagwan is the travel agent. Because only he knows who has tickets for which destination. He being the karma phala data. So what is stamped on our ticket, Jiva ticket, that they have handheld devices. They put the ticket in that way, sir, madam. Actually there is no sir, madam. There is no gender. And Jiva code numbers will be so long. Last time only we saw how many Jivas are possible. Infinite. Because mosquito, and every day millions of them are dying. Mosquitoes, insects, so many kinds. Trees, plants. All these jivas, they are ready. Where is my next destination? And based on their karmas, they are taken. Now, Bhagwan cannot run everywhere with his device and say, look, I will tell you where to go. So he has appointed people, his staff. The staff members' names are given here. Agni, these are all devatas. These are all abhimani devatas. So Agni is, you can use this Agni as the fire deity or Agni as some deity who is taking the person, the jiva, this way, sir. So he takes from one destination to another. Then he gives the charge to another person. You know, when you go for a travel guided tour, so from one section to another section, somebody will take you. Then they will switch hands. Next person will take the group. Like that. Next is Jyotihi. So now the distinction here is that all of them are bright devatas. Maybe they all are dressed up in white clothes. Jyotihi. So literal meaning of these, if we take fire, flame, ahaha means day. So it's not that if an individual dies in fire, he goes to Saguna Brahma. Not like that. The fire devata is taking him. Jyotir devata, daytime devata, ahaha. Shuklaha. Shuklaha means white, actually literal meaning. So bright fortnight devata. And Uttarayanam, Shanmasa, the devata of the Uttarayana, which is this period. So sometimes people feel when we die in Uttarayanam, so dying in Uttarayanam means that we are ready where the Uttarayanam devata is able to receive us. That is what is meant. Like in the case of Bhishma. So otherwise, so many people, they die during the bright fortnight. Don't think they all go to Brahmaloka. There will be a lot of rush there. Because either 6 months of this or the other. So, when an individual goes through the exchange of these devatas, then tatra prayata Brahma gachanti. Then they reach Brahma. So they reach Brahmaloka, and then, depending on what was their knowledge, either in the next cycle they come back, or if they understand the Nirguna Brahma Tattva there, then they don't come back. Then they merge with Paramatma. This is the bright path. This is the Upasaka's path. Now what about Karmi's path? धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्णः षण्मासा दक्षिणायनम् तत्र चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिः योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते धूमो रात्रिस्तथा कृष्णः षण्मासा दक्षिणायनम् तत्र चान्द्रमसं ज्योतिः योगी प्राप्य निवर्तते. Yogi, here yogi means karmi, a ritualist. Yogi, Chandramasam Jyotihi Prapya, having attained the Chandramasam Jyotihi. That means the light which is lit up by the moon, the lunar path. So the earlier was solar path. Not that one lives in sun and other lives in moon. This is just a way of classifying. Actually, Chandramasam Jyoti means Swarga. And that is the highest a karmi can attain, up to heaven. And generally, when somebody dies, so those who are remaining, the other family members, they give benefit of doubt to that person. They say, Inka Swargwas ho gaya. He has gone to Swarga. The minimum, at least that we can do. So Chandramasam Jyoti, karmi can go up to heaven. And Upasaka can go up to Brahmaloka. So Chandramasam Jyoti Prapya Nivartate. So he comes back. The other one was going to the upper worlds, Brahmaloka, etc. And from there attains Paramatma. And who are all the in-between devatas who are exchanging hands, who are taking this jiva from one place to another? Dhumaha means smoke. So smoky devata is there. Earlier it was Agnihi, here it is Dhuma. Ratrihi means dark. So these devatas are wearing kind of darker costumes. Ratrihi. Krishnaha, Tatha is not another one. Tatha means and. Krishnaha. Krishna means dark. So Krishna here means Krishna Paksha Devata. Like earlier it was Shukla Paksha Devata. So Shukla means bright fortnight. And Krishna means dark. Krishna Shanmasa Dakshinayanam. Dakshinayanam, the 6 months of the southern celestial. That's what they use. So it is after July. Shanmasa Dakshinayanam. These ones are reached by the karmi. And then he will come back. So these are the two paths. Now these are two much better destinations than the earth or the lower worlds. Going to heaven is good. One will stay there, enjoy, maja. If we say, oh, I am happy in America, we really don't know. And if we say, I am unhappy in America, then it's good opportunity for Vairagya. So we can say, just as it is here, it will be there also. I don't have to get too excited about anything. So, these worlds are good, they are better, but they are up to heaven, they all have a return ticket. Prachandram samjyotihi yogi prapya nivartate, comes back. Now Bhagavan is summarizing both these paths in 26th shloka. Shukla Krishne gati yete Jagata shashvate mate Ekaya yatyana vrittim Anyaya vartate punah Shukla Krishne gati yete Jagata shashvate mate Ekaya yatyana vrittim Anyaya vartate punah. Ete means these two. Shukla Krishna means Shukla and Krishna, the bright and the dark. Shukla Krishna gati. Gati means destinations here. These two destinations. Destination attained through the handover from the brighter devatas, or destination attained through the handover to the darker devatas. Jagataha shashvate mate. They are there from, when did this start? Time immemorial. So this is there from infinite time, that a jiva takes up one body, experiences karmas, at the time of departure sheds this body here, takes up, based on his karmas, actually he is given the next body. It is said the next body of jiva is decided right at the time when he leaves that body. First body, as soon as he gives up, next body is ready. Only thing is, it is in subtle form. It is like they have outside some shops, they will have air figure, and when the wind is blowing, so it does like it goes on moving. That is so wonderful creation. But that thing, when you take the air out, how it will be? Like a small thing. A balloon without air. Like that, the body is already there. All that body does is, when it goes to new womb, it starts expanding. So mother doesn't give the body to that child. Mother only nourishes that body. So slowly he starts opening up. These secrets only our scriptures will talk. Nowhere else this will be discussed. And we are constantly worried about, okay, what body, what can we do, this, that. You just improve the karma. You will automatically get good body. Don't try to do at body level. Best is realize and be free. No body. So, these two are there from beginning. And there is no actual beginning. It is always there. Shashvate mate. Ekaya anavrittim yati. By one, no return. For whom? Upasaka. An individual who has been so devoted to Bhagavan, he doesn't come back. Anyaya avartate punah. Other path, definite stamp. Avartate punaha. So going and coming, when did it begin? It is always there. When did I first come? There is no such first coming. It is there. And this goes on. Ekaya anavrittim yati anyaya punah avartate. So this is going on and on. So this is the gati of jiva for all jivas. Now from human being, it is not guaranteed that we will always be human beings. We will get higher bodies also, we can get lower, inferior bodies also. So we may become mosquito, we may become amoeba, we can become elephant also. And then human. This is costume only. So we are wearing clothes on top of clothes. That's all. The only difference is the outer clothes we change more frequently, inner clothes we keep for a little longer time. Which otherwise also we do in one day. Exactly the same. You know, the whole thing, if we see a bigger picture, we say what is going on and where am I paying my total attention, my entire life I am focusing on some most insignificant aspect. And we say, oh, I am accomplishing so much. It is a joke. So here Bhagavan completes the discussion about the two paths, the two destinations. Now he is talking about the two sadhakas. So what about karmi and upasakas? What do they do and what should we do? Naite sruti partha janan. Naite sruti partha janan. It is not shruti, it is sruti. Naite sruti partha janan. Naite sruti partha janan. Yogi muhyati kashana. Yogi muhyati kashana. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Yoga yukto bhavarjuna. Yoga yukto bhavarjuna. Naite sruti partha janan. Yogi muhyati kashana. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhavarjuna. This yoga yukto bhavarjuna in earlier chapters also Bhagavan has given. But in karma yoga, yoga yukto bhavarjuna means, O Arjuna, you become karma yoga yukta. In this context, O Arjuna, yoga yukto bhava means upasana yoga yukto bhava. May you become one with upasana yoga. So either endow yourself with karma yoga, upasana yoga, like that. So here remember, context is, there are two paths. Ete sriti. Sriti means samsaranam, the path, movement. Those who know these two paths, these two movements, transitions. So one flight is towards, if I want to go to India, one flight is via Atlantic, another via Pacific. So there are two paths. But there, both paths go to the same point. Right? Here, it is not like that. Because one is, goes let's say up to London and comes back. The other goes all the way. or you take it differently, whichever way you like. Naite sriti partha janan kashan yogi muhyati. Yogi means the sadhaka, upasaka. He does not get deluded who knows both these, which means he knows what is karma, what karma will give, for how long I will get it, and I definitely have to come back. What is upasana? What is the result of upasana? Where I will be, and ultimately how I can attain God, by which I don't come back. He knows both these distinctions. So when do we become sadhaka? When we are very clear about all these things. So precise. See, this is called study of scriptures. This is called Shravana. It is not just, casual listening. And this should make us committed seekers. So one who knows this, na muhyati. He knows I don't, what I am interested, and that is what I have to do. Na kasyan muhyati. Therefore, tasmat, sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhava. O Arjuna, all the time you remember what is your goal. Do you want to come back or not? So that is the first question. If you draw the flow chart, first question, decision box you make. I don't know if you guys still use them. Do I want to come back? Yes. You have different path. No. Different path. And there is a third one. Can I go or come back? For Brahma there is no going, there is no coming back. There is jnana marga. Sarveshu kalashu yoga yukta bhava. That means you dedicate yourself for this Saguna Brahma Upasana. How to start that? So start right now. Try to understand Paraprakriti, Aparaprakriti, Paramatma, 7th chapter knowledge. That Paramatma is all pervading. So, whatever I interact with is none other than that Saguna Ishvara. Ashtamurti Vrit Deva Pujana. So when this understanding comes, and this, it is not only knowledge. Remember, in both these paths, knowledge alone is not sufficient. We need knowledge plus practice, abhyasa. Then there is no coming back. In Upasana path. And now Bhagavan glorifies this Upasaka with respect to the karmi. Last shloka of this chapter. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva Daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam Atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva Yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva Daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam Atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva Yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Yogi means upasaka yogi, param cha adyam sthanam upaiti. He attains param, the supreme destination, and adyam means the foremost, that which was there from the beginning. So he attains that which is there always, that is the Ishvara. When tat sarvam viditva atyeti, all the other punya phalas, having known them, their limitations, the two paths, the two destinations, when he knows all of them, then he practices upasana, then he transcends that worldly achievements up to heavenly world. So adyati means he transcends, he goes beyond. Goes beyond what? He goes beyond all the other gains attained through karma. All of that he can go up. And he understands what I am interested in is freedom, liberation. But for some reason, that Nirguna Brahma Jnanam, he could not get it. But he had done enough upasana of Saguna Brahma. And therefore, he shall attain the higher worlds like Brahmaloka and then will become free. So, tat sarvam idam viditva atyeti. Idam means all this. Viditva, knowing. Knowing means having known and practiced upasana, then he transcends all of that. And he attains that param cha adyam sthanam upaiti. What is all this that he transcends, that he goes beyond? Yat punya phalam, that meritorious result which is described in Vedas, Vedeshu, which means in karmas. Here Veda in the form of karma kanda. Yajneshu, by performance of yajnayakadis. Tapassu, what is attained through austerity. Remember, all these are great with respect to individuals who are totally in the worldly attainments. If somebody says, I am looking for a position in this company or that company or in this organization, with respect to that, in heaven if you get some position, it is really wonderful. Because here position will be 4 years, 5 years, 20 years maximum, with all that effort. And in so much headache it will give you, you will say, Namaskar. Whereas in heaven, fun. But that is also temporary. But it is much better than what we can get here. So if somebody says, I am not ready for moksha right now, let me enjoy. You say, if you really want to enjoy, forget this. I have better thing for you. Do all this. What is given in Vedas? Yajnas, tapaha, danam, charity. Do charity. Whatever you have, you give up here, you will have more there. No, I am happy with whatever I have here. In next life, you will know what you will get. Yat punya phalam pradishtam. Also, don't quote me suddenly that, oh, you said this, so now I am going to do this. You do it if you want. See, there are gradations. For an individual who doesn't want to do anything, first we have to inspire them, to tell them to do something in this world and gain something, achieve something. When they achieve something here and they don't know what is the next thing, then say you do higher, greater rituals, you can go to greater worlds. Then he is inspired and he will start doing that. Then the Shastra says, look, there you will go with return ticket. You want to stay longer? And do you want to come back or not? If by mistake also he says, I don't think I want to come back, then you do upasana. And an individual who gets vairagya and he says, is there total freedom where I don't have to go here, there, and I want solution now itself? You do jnana. You study Vedanta. So Vedanta is for that student. Now all four are true options. So don't think, if this is correct or that, everything is correct. What is it that you are interested in? Bhagavan has a big mall. What do you want? Ordinary gains, that section please. Supernatural powers, there is a big section. And everyone is interested in other things. Somebody goes and Bhagavan, I am interested in you. Nothing else. Bhagavan says, you discover me within you. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. So, this individual who has taken the path of upasana transcends what is given in Vedas, in karmas, in yajnas, in austerities and in charity. Yat punya phalam pradishtam tat idam sarvam atyeti. He goes beyond all of that. Why? Because all the other phalas are anitya. They are temporary. They will give 5 years, 10 years, 50 years, 100 years, 2000 years happiness. After that will be taken away. Whereas the upasana phalam is relatively nitya. So that's what you will get. So what should we do tomorrow? Just go and tell children, you stop everything. No. First we have to make them do what is right thing and inspire. Because all these, without vairagya, nothing will work. The key decision maker for transitioning is vairagya scale. That is the key factor. It is not what we are doing, it is how much vairagya we have. Vairagya is there, you are ready for next stage. Nobody has to push also. He will on his own go to the next level. Vairagya is not there, no matter what we do, we are in LKG. Shastras are very clear. So this yogi attains that. So here Bhagavan concludes answers to all 7 questions. And then what he is going to do? He is going to continue talking about what he was talking in 7th chapter. So the 4 types of devotees, etc., what he taught. And then that knowledge, that jnani bhakta is the great. What is that jnanam? That he is going to talk. Because it was jnana vijnana yoga. So we will see that in September when we begin. Om Tat Saditi Shri श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे अक्षरब्रह्मयोगो नाम अष्टमोऽध्यायः. So here the 8th chapter is concluding of Bhagavad Gita, which is in the form of dialogue between Bhagavan Shri Krishna and Arjuna, Akshara Brahma. Here another name is also given, Taraka Brahma. Taraka Brahma, the one which will take us to that Brahma, that is Om, Akshara Brahma here indicating. So Om Upasana was indicated here. So with this, one more chapter is completed. It is under our belt, if we want to say. But we only know how much we have understood, where we are, and how much we have to practice. Right? So that is the greatness, of our scriptures. That even though we all hear the same thing, depending on where we are, our knowledge, our understanding. And knowledge, understanding means what? Our life. We ourselves will know how happy I am and how disturbed I am. We don't need any other factor. Nobody else need to examine our paper. We only know where we are. How much do I get disturbed when something happens? How much agitation I carry, not over days and months. So we know how much sadhana we do. Okay. We will conclude and then I will give you just few things, instructions kind of things. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.